Hey everyone, it's Photo here, and I am here showing you this gorgeous journal from Minte.Studio today. I'm not feeling my best today, so sorry in advance if I seem a little toned down, but I sprained my ankle and I've had a rough day at work, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So this was sent to me for free by Minte.Studio to do a review. So what I want to say is there's two different kinds of notebooks at this particular shop. They have dotted notebooks, which come in light blue and light pink, which are about $18 on the US dollars on their site. And then there's this kind of mint journal, which comes in lavender, light blue, black, royal blue, and light pink. And at the time of recording, this is on sale for $25. However, it is normally $30. It also comes with a pen, which I, being my normal, really chaotic self, somehow lost. So that wasn't on them. I actually did get the pen that comes with this set. But I am a special individual and lost it. So sorry, Minte.Studio, and thank you for sending this to me. So it comes with this little cute thing that says, "Welcome to the Mint Tribe. Thank you for choosing our journal. We hope it will help you create the life of your dreams one page at a time. Follow us on Instagram for daily inspiration at Minte.Studio and tag them in order to get featured, and there's their hashtag mint to be happy." So that's from them. It's this cute little gold foil card. So there is that. So to give you some specs real quick, because I don't want to just fill you up with specs. I want you to see the actual journal. But it's meant to be used as a bullet journal. This particular one has prompt pages, so it's 250 total pages, 174 are dotted pages, and then 76 have these prompt pages. So it can be used as both a bullet journal, and it has some bullet journal type prompts that are common in the bullet journaling community that are already added to this. It's 100 GSM, acid-free ink, proof paper, resistant to feathering. It does say that you can use gel ink pens, Pigma microns, and ballpoint pens. Those are their recommended. And it's an ivory in an A5 size. So there are the basic specs. So if I open up to this journal, it has a cute little design, and it has a space to put your name and everything. A couple blank pages there, and then it has your at a glance. So this was sent to me in 2018, so it has a 2018 at a glance with a page for events on the back, and then a page for 2019 with the events on the back. So this is really good because a lot of bullet journalers get annoyed with having to do kind of the at a glance page every time. So it's nice that this is included and that there's a page for events. You can customize it within these boxes, but that's kind of the drawback to having a pre-planned prompt page, is that you can't like do your own type of design with it. But maybe that's what you're looking for because you don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. There is a yearly resolutions page with a full page of lines. And it does say your resolutions can be done at any time of the year, not only in January. And I do like that because I like to do quarterly planning. So I do like that they say this can be done at any time of the year. Make sure your monthly goals help to accomplish them. So I like that sentiment. And they have a front and back page for that, so that's really nice. There's plenty of room to jot down your resolutions, especially if you want to go ahead and do it throughout the year. This is a places to go, front and back. So, I mean, hopefully you have a lot of locations that you want to get to. And then there is a movies to watch, same type of deal, front and back. books to read, front and back. And then we get into habit trackers. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where there's a lot of common bullet journal type things that are already pre-done for you as prompt pages. You can probably also do that within the actual bullet journal part of this journal, but it's kind of nice that they have the option there. What I like about this is the intention of the habit tracker. Acquiring a new positive habit or getting rid of an old negative one takes from 2 to 3 weeks. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many new habits at once. Make improvements by changing at most 2 things at a time. So I want to start doing blah, 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 and it'll give you 3 weeks to try to develop that habit or to take away that habit. So I like this idea. I like to have mine in my months, so I don't know if I, in particular, I mean, there's a bunch of pages of it, so you definitely have room to work with when it comes to these habit trackers. And I like that it's very intention-based for those 2 to 3 weeks, because that is the amount of time, in theory, that it takes to develop or take away a habit. And when I first started bullet journaling, way back when, a couple years ago, I started off with one of those big old lists that you turn to the side and you have all those lines. Like I think I had like 20 or something, and I've never been able to do it since. It actually made me stop habit tracking for a while because I was too overwhelmed with how many things I was trying to track on a monthly basis, which is why you'll only see 3 to maybe 9. Sometimes I do 9, and a lot of those are things that I've already made habits, but rather than a habit tracker, it's more like a task, a little task thing. So I like the idea of this because when I first started and got really overwhelmed with this, I wish I would have had someone say, oh, you know, cut back on your tasks. So if that interests you, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and there's 4 on each page. So there is the habit tracker. Then there is a productivity tracker. So this in my mind is close to an ideal day kind of thing. So you can put scores 0 to 10 to evaluate your productivity during the day. For sleeping hours, you shade it out. So now mark with different colors, 0 to 4 with blue. And I don't like that they tell you what colors to use. I would rather do my own colors, but it's fine. 0 to 4 with blue if you feel like you are low productivity. So maybe like in your morning, if you're not a morning person, you would be 0 to 4, and that would be blue. 5 to 7 with yellow, 8 to 10 with green. 8 to 10 is your highest productivity time, and you may have noticed that it doesn't last for more than 3 to 4 hours in a row. So I like that it takes a lot of kind of science-based type stuff into explaining it to you. I don't know if I would necessarily use this, particularly because my days are different, but it does have a Monday through Sunday option. So instead of just like one ideal day, maybe your days look different all the time. But if you're working maybe not like a 9 to 5 job or anything like that, maybe you don't know what your work schedule is, but maybe this is just kind of something to give you a snapshot of like, oh, if I'm working these types of hours during this time of year, blah, 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 this is my type of productivity. So, and then it does have like a notes page where you can talk about why you may have been productive during that time or why you may not have been. And there are 2 of those. So maybe that would be good to do during different times of the year, maybe during the winter, because in the winter I feel like my productivity goes down versus in the summer maybe your productivity is high. So that's kind of interesting to have 2 different ones. Cindy Guntrabaldo talks about when she has custody versus not custody. So maybe that's also something you can do. What is my snapshot of a week while I have custody or when I don't have custody? What is my snapshot of a week when I am working in my career as a scientist versus working as, you know, a bullet journal or doing these videos, all that kind of stuff. If I took the week off and only focused on my business, what kind of productivity would I have? So there's different options there. And then it says time to start living the life you've imagined, which I like that quote. That's fine. And then there are monthly goals for personal, professional, and fun. I like that it's separated out into different types of goals. I don't know if there's necessarily enough space for each, but because it's a monthly goal, maybe you don't have a ton of goals in a month. Like I said, I mostly do quarterly, so this space wouldn't be enough for my quarterly, but monthly probably would be. And then it has tip for better results, make your goals measurable. For example, instead of read more, read one book. Go back to this page at the end of the month and mark done, or migrate to move to the next month, or not done. So I like that they have this tip, because that's something that I've found in my daily life where I'll put, oh, I want to do this workflow, but instead of that, maybe I can't finish a workflow, like developing a workflow in a month for whatever reason. You know, I'm doing a lot at my work. So instead of doing, do workflow, break it down into the tasks for the workflow, and then one or a couple of those are my monthly goals versus just saying do this or read more. You actually have something measurable for. There's also a monthly reflection. I'm grateful for blah, 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 blah. Another monthly reflection. I have done blah, 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 and I have given myself. I like that one. I have given myself blah, blah, blah. I personally think that that would be really helpful for me because a lot of what I'm trying to focus on lately is self-care. So I have given myself a week off of work because I needed it, you know, something like that, something to reflect on that you have given yourself. Maybe you gave yourself a little gift or something like that. So that's really nice. And I'm sure there are these for every month. There's different quotes for every month. Like I said, I kind of like having these on a monthly page before I get, you know, like how I put December and then I put all my monthly pages, but you can't really do that in a bullet journal. So having these all these collections at the front, I would just need to have like a task for myself in my bullet journal that says go to monthly reflections or something like that to make myself actually do it, because I won't remember to go to the front of my bullet journal. And that's the same thing with my annual spreads, which you'll see me do in a couple weeks here, setting up for my annual. And I'm just making sure that there's nothing else in these pages. Okay, and then we start the actual bullet journal. So these are not numbered, so that's something to keep in mind. I kind of wish there was another quote page and then the bullet journaling starts on the next page, because that's just how I like my bullet journals. But so I wish there was kind of like a quote page here, but it goes right into it. So maybe instead of you know, taking away a page, they wanted you to get right on into it, or you can have like a cover page for the year here. That would be nice too. So these are not dotted, or they are dotted, they are not numbered. The spine seems to be holding up pretty well. It is lie flat, as you guys can see. There is one bookmark, and even towards the back, you'll see like the page lift up a little bit, but it's really lie flat. It would be very nice to write on. So I don't know how I feel about this passwords page. I just saw that, you know, I see these posts all the time on Facebook and bullet journal junkies and stuff like that, where people have either lost or had their bullet journal stolen from them. So I don't know if I would be comfortable putting my passwords here, but there is a page for passwords and then a couple empty pages. It is made in China if you care about that. If you don't, you know, and it has a blank page here at the back with a, oh, that's peeling up a little bit, with a pocket, and it has the color on the side here, as you can see. It's behind this sheet, but the sheet doesn't seem to be down a little bit very well. Like I ripped it. So maybe not the most sturdy of back pockets. And so I'm just going to use this passwords page to do a little bit of a pen test. So I'm going to use my mono drawing pen. This and they actually suggested Pigma Micron, so I'm going to grab a Pigma Micron also, even though these are very similar types of pens. It also said ballpoint pens and gel ink pens. So I'm going to use a Muji, which is a gel ink, and I want to see how it does with some Tombos. So I'm going to try these out and let you know how it goes. All right, so the big reveal. All right, so it brailles with the gel pen. The Pigma Micron, it does do well with. You can see a little bit. I mean, it's normal ghosting for 100 GSM. It ghosts no more than the Scribbles That Matter that I have that is a 100 GSM. It does seem to have a little bit of issues here when I press down pretty hard with the Tombow here at the start and at the top and bottom strokes when I'm trying to switch my hand. And then the Tombow Mono, it does work better with the Micron than the Tombow Mono, so that's a little weird. And it does seem to feather a bit on this Tombow Feud. So there is the pen test. So overall, my thoughts are that I like the idea and the intention of these pages, especially if you find that setting up these pages is really, it takes a lot of time, and maybe that is what's turning you off to bullet journaling. These might be nice because you don't have to set these pages up. You can't really customize them so they're your style, but I guess it's kind of a time, a cost-benefit reward. Do you want it to be kind of a standard, or do you want it to be customized to how it fits your life? So, cost-benefit, all that kind of stuff. I like that these aren't totally black. I like this. It's kind of like a warm gray look, and it's like a soft warm gray. I like that look of the numbers, of the letters and the numbers, the words. That's what I was looking for. I like these quotes. They were really nice. I like that it has these monthly goals and reflection pages. It's something that I feel like I need to do more of in my own bullet journal. So I do like that it has these set up. And I like that it's not labeled starting in January. I like that you can create your own label for it, and it has 12 months worth of labels. Now, 174 pages for me doesn't really get me where I need to go for an entire year. So these monthly reflection pages might not be totally helpful, but you also get some of these types of trackers out of the way from the start, because all of these are those tracker type pages, and all of these are your bullet journal. Like I said, this probably won't do it for me in terms of actually fitting in a whole year, mostly because I do a lot of hybrids, I do a lot of specialty collections, things like that. So some of these things won't be totally helpful when it comes to the monthly reflection. So in knowing that, maybe I could use 2 pages or something like that for each month. who knows? You could customize it that way. I wish there were an index. That's something that I'm missing a little bit, because especially if it doesn't have page numbers, I'd like to add page numbers, and I'd like to have like an index or something like that. So it probably doesn't have an index because of the lack of page numbers, and because when you're talking about January, you're talking about January here, but you're also talking about January here and with your habit trackers and things like that. So maybe that's why it doesn't have an index page. But I like, at the end of every month, I like to kind of go through and add things to my index page. So I kind of wish there were one here. This back pocket situation is not the sturdiest. Not the sturdiest at all. Maybe that was a one-time thing for me, but that's an issue there. The pens, you probably won't be able to use, some of the wetter brush pens, but it held up decently as a normal 100 GSM would. So there's my thoughts there. I like it. I like that this is a different take on a bullet journal. It reminds me a little bit of how Scribbles That Matter tried to do the bullet planner as a B5. I wasn't really a fan of how it was set up in terms of like the hourly or anything like that. So I didn't personally use it, but I saw Cindy use it during one of her plan as you go months. So, I mean, I like that there was bullet journal space. It just, I don't know. But it seems similar in terms of having like the collections at the beginning of the notebook. So if you didn't see her plan as you go month for that, I'll link that in the description below so that you can take a look, because maybe that will give you a good idea of, you know, how it is flipping back and forth between your monthly pages and your daily and weekly pages, and then having these monthly goals. I do like that it's goals, because even though you will probably look at them here, I don't think it's something that you would need to go to every single month or every day within that month. I think the habit trackers you would, because that's the whole point of a habit tracker, is developing or taking away that habit. But I do like how they set these tracking pages up. And I think it is nice that they put little tips in there, and that they talk about not overwhelming yourself with too many new habits at once. Make improvements by changing at most 2 things at a time. So I think they are really trying to help you guys. So that is my thought there. I am giving away this journal, and if I can find the pen, I will give away the pen with it also. And I'm also going to include a few of my own stickers to go along with it. So if you want to enter the giveaway, the information will be linked down below. I'll be doing a Rafflecopter one for this particular giveaway. All of the information is in the description, and the link for the actual giveaway is in the description. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys are interested in this. Thank you to Minte.Studio for sending this to me free of charge, so that my viewers and my folks on Instagram can take a look at this type of journal. So if you're interested, like I said, enter in. If you want to see more of these kind of review videos, like, comment below to let me know. If you want to see a particular thing that you're interested in reviewing, leave those in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to see more, and all that kind of jazz. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great one, everyone.